So, hello once again, my dear students at Al High School in Marrakesh and all the Moroccan students. So, right now I'm going to move to another, let's say, function in the textbook of Decade to English, as you know here. So, we have been giving some classes about, let's say, the English, if you want, program for the second year baccalaureate. So, we have talked about, let's say, the first function, which was about how to introduce a definition. We tried to give some phrases and some expressions that we can use in order to actually give a definition or explain a particular concept. Right now, we're going to move to, another, let's say, function, which is about complaining and apologizing. So as you can see here, the title of the present, let's say, functional language is complaining and apologizing. So we're going to actually work on these two functions, but we're going to work on each one of them, let's say, at a time. We're going to start with, if you want, let's start with defining the two functions first. We're going to see what do we mean by, if you want, apologizing. What is to apologize? We have apologize, and we have complain. Okay? So these two words or these two nouns normally are, as you can see here, very similar, but they are hugely, if you want, different. Okay? So we have apologize and complain. So the first word here is a verb, and the second one is a verb. The noun from these two words is here we have apologize. The noun is apology and apology. We're going to see what do we mean by apology. And the noun here from the verb complain is complaint with T, please. I insist on this. T. If you want to make a noun from this verb, you should add this suffix here, the T. It's complaint. Okay? Complain. So we have apologize and complain. So let's start with the first function. What do we mean by apologizing or to apologize? And when do you apologize to someone? So when we say to apologize, it simply means to say sorry. To say sorry to someone. Okay? And of course, the cause is that because you've done something wrong, or you've said something that is, if you want, that hurts that person, or that hurts the feelings of that person. So to apologize means to say sorry, or to ask for pardon, just like the word in French. And by the way, many students have been asking me to, interpret and translate words into Arabic, but I do not really feel comfortable, translating things from English into Arabic. Please try to concentrate with me and try to focus and try to use the different tools that we have, like a dictionary at home, or the online dictionaries that you may have on your, if you want, computers, if you have them with you. So we're going to use only English words, and from time to time I will try to help you, simplify things. So to say sorry or to ask for what? For pardon. What do we mean by pardon? To ask for pardon or to ask for forgiveness. So the question here is, what do we ask for pardon for? What do we ask for forgiveness for? What did we do? Yeah, that's correct. So the answer is, you have to ask for pardon or forgiveness for something that is unacceptable. Let's say between brackets something bad, so you can understand the word. Forgiveness for something bad that you did. Something bad or something unacceptable that you did. For example, a misbehavior. You behaved in a bad way with a person. For example, you behaved with a friend of yours. You behaved in a bad way with your teacher, with one of your parents. Okay? So, ask for forgiveness for something bad that you did or you said. Sometimes we say some words and we do not actually understand how harmful are these words. So we try to address some people with certain words, and we do not consider their feelings. We do not, think about the impact and the effect of these words on the feelings of that person. So in this case, we have to ask for what? We have to ask for forgiveness and ask for pardon. Please do not be in a hurry, because I'm just trying to introduce the definition. I'm just trying to explain what do we mean by to apologize. What is more important here is how do we do that? What are the different ways that are available for us in the English language to express what? Our apology. So if we want to apologize, how can we do that? And what are the different ways? What are the different expressions that we can use to apologize to people? This is what we're going to learn today. Please stay with me. Do not go anywhere. Give me just a couple of minutes and you will actually get a lot of things that you will be, for example, benefiting from, or that you will be in need of. Okay? So let's go to the second function. So we have complain. The noun, as I said, is complaint. So what does that mean? To complain about something. For example, you are in a restaurant and you ordered some, for example, food. The food is usually and regularly served hot. But that server in that restaurant served it in a very cold situation. So it's, inedible. You cannot eat it. So what are you going to say? Hey, I'm sorry, this food is not good. So the act of showing what? It's the act of showing that you are not feeling comfortable with that situation. You do not feel comfortable with that food because it's very cold, so I have to what? To complain. I cannot eat it. I'm sorry. You have to what? To change it. So this is what we mean by complaining. Complaining or a complaint is the act of showing either dissatisfaction or discomfort or discontentment or anger. You show that you are angry about that situation, angry about the food, angry about the noise that someone else is making, angry about different situations that we may come across in our daily life. So it's the act of showing your what? First thing is anger. It means I'm very angry with this noise. I cannot stand it. So I have to what? To complain. Please stop it. Stop that noise now. I'm complaining. But not in this way. We have other expressions that we can use. Formal and polite expressions. So the act of showing your anger or discomfort, what does that mean? Discomfort means that you are uncomfortable with. You are uncomfortable with. I'm not comfortable with this. I have to do something about it. Or the other person has to do something about it. Either he has to change the situation, or I can actually complain. Using different, if you want, ways. So we have anger, discomfort, dissatisfaction, if you want, or discontentment. So we have the act of showing your anger, discomfort, dissatisfaction, or discontentment towards a person about something that what? That annoys you. We can stop here. We can say that complaining or a complaint is the act of showing your anger or your discomfort, dissatisfaction, or discontentment, full stop. And we can continue, the definition, and say, showing discomfort about what? Towards someone or something that what? That bothers you, that disappoints you, that disturbs you, that gives you a lot of trouble. So when we say to complain, complain to your neighbor because they have a wedding party, a marriage ceremony, and they have some loud speakers and loud noise and you cannot sleep at night. Then you have to go and complain. Though they will not, let's say, give you a damn, as we say, they will not care about what you're going to say. So I'm just giving this example here because this is one example we can draw from our culture. So you try to show discomfort to someone or towards someone or something that what? That annoys you. What do we mean by annoy? That annoys, it means something that bothers you or something that disappoints you. Or something that gives you a lot of trouble. So we can stop just here. Or something that gives you a lot of trouble. So, my dear students, as you can see here, and of course, my dear followers and my dear viewers, all the audience who are actually showing any interest to my classes here. So, we have apologize. It means to say sorry or to ask for pardon, forgiveness for something bad that you did or you said, okay? And complain, to complain, which is a verb, the noun is complaint. It simply means the act of showing your anger, discomfort, dissatisfaction, or discontentment towards someone or something that annoys you, or bothers you, or disappoints you, or that gives you a lot of trouble. So I hope that I have, let's say, satisfied your need and that I could explain these two words very well to you. Please, if you have some more difficulty, do not hesitate to tell me. You can write some comments either on my Facebook profile or my YouTube channel, or you can actually send it, through the different means that you have, okay? Because there are people who are following me and they are of my, if you want, friends and my relatives and my students. And for those who do not know me, please do not hesitate and feel free to write comments, to ask questions, or to tell me that I have to change a way or a method that I'm using here in giving these classes. Thank you so much for following. Please do not go anywhere. Stay with me because I'm going to show you something which is more important than just introducing the two definitions. Please stay with me and don't go. So there we go, guys. So we're going to continue talking about the different things that we have actually talked about. So we're going to start with the first one, which is apologizing. So we're going to see what are the different expressions we can use to make what? An apology. So if you want to apologize for something wrong or something bad that you did or you said to someone, then the first, let's say, verb that we can use or the first expression that we can use is I am. Of course, we have I'm sorry for. I'm sorry. So we have I am sorry for. But we can actually, change the degree of this, let's call it, sorry. Okay, the degree, we can actually use some adverbs in order to show that we have an extreme. For example, we insist, or we emphasize, or we really have more focus on our apology or apologizing, our act of apologizing. We can use some adverbs here. Like I am so, or I am, if you want, terribly, or I am awfully sorry for. Okay? So, for example, I am so sorry for being late for class. I am terribly sorry for being late for class. I am awfully sorry for being late for class. The second expression that we can use is, if you want, I do apologize. And as you can see here, apologize, it can be actually, this can be written with S or with Z. Both of them are correct. This is a British and American English matter, okay? So we have I do apologize about something or apologize for something I did or something I said wrong. Okay? So we have I do apologize. I can't tell you how sorry I am. You can write the short or the full form. I can't tell you how sorry I am. So, I can't tell you how sorry I am for example, breaking your mobile phone. Because I was trying to, check it. I was trying to take a look at your mobile phone and then it dropped off and it broke. So, I can't tell you how sorry I am for what happened. Okay? We also have, I can't apologize enough. I can't apologize enough. So whatever I say and whatever I do, I cannot apologize for what I did or for what I said. Okay? We also have, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Or please forgive my mistake. Okay? Please forgive me. We also have pardon. Okay? We have pardon. Or we also can use my sincere apologies. My sincere apologies. So as you can see, guys, all these expressions here are used to what? To make an apology. To ask for pardon or to ask for forgiveness when you do or when you say something between brackets bad or something wrong. Okay? So the list here is long and I will try to give you the documents that I have. I have many expressions. I can give you the documents and then you can actually read them. So we have these expressions to make what? An apology. So the second part in this function is accept an apology. So we're going to see how to accept someone's apology. You are being, for example, a good person with him and you have actually been, if you want, a comprehensible person. So you just let him go with the mistake he actually did. So how can we actually express that and how can we say it? So accept an apology. Let's imagine that someone is saying, for example, I'm so sorry for this. A student, for example, coming to this class very late and he actually apologized. I will just respond this way. I have to be what? Polite with them. We can say, for example, don't worry about it. We can stop here if you want. Don't worry. It's fine. It's all right. It's okay. So don't worry about it. We have don't blame yourself. So don't blame yourself. It means that you are not responsible for it. It happened maybe accidentally. It happened without, let's say, intentionally. So we have, unintentionally. So here we have don't blame yourself. We have don't kill yourself. You don't have to insist on apologizing. These things usually happen. Don't kill yourself. We can also say apology accepted. Apology accepted. I accept your apology. Pay attention, not apologize or apologizing. I accept your apology, the noun. Okay? We also have I forgive you. I forgive you, which means no problem. We can also use this one, no problem, okay? I forgive you. We can also say or use, I'm sorry, Apology accepted. I forgive you. Don't kill yourself. Don't blame yourself. Don't worry about it. Forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. Okay? We also have many other expressions here that I will try to actually give you here in this document. Okay? Or we can have never. Never mind. This is one of the most, mostly used ones. Never mind. What if you want to decline an apology? You want to what? Refuse that apology. I hope you will not be doing these things with your friends. Please accept other people's apologies and try to tolerate them. In case there is something, wrong that you cannot actually you cannot forgive, that you cannot tolerate, something that actually you cannot leave your friend go away with his mistake or her mistake, then we have some expressions that you can use to want to decline an apology. Okay? So we have, for example, let's imagine that someone is apologizing. I'm sorry for what I did. Okay, so we can simply say, I will never forget it. I will never forget it. Okay? I will never forget it. I will always remember what you said and what you did. Okay? It means you are being, if you want, somehow a very angry person and you don't want to tolerate that mistake. I won't forgive you. I will not forgive you. So we have here apology accepted. Here we will have apology not accepted. Apology not accepted, it means it is declined, it is refused. I will not, forgive you, I will not forget it. Or you can be somehow harsh and say, you will pay for it. You will pay for it. You will pay a costly price. You will pay a costly price for it. It means that you will actually you will be punished. You will actually, if you want, pay for it means that you will receive, let's say, the due punishment, the necessary punishment for this mistake or for this wrong thing or bad thing that you actually did or said. You will pay for it. So all these expressions here are used, and they are, intended to, if you want, decline an apology. I will never forget it. I won't forgive you. Apology not accepted. You will pay for it. That's, you can say, that's a big problem. That's a big problem. Okay? You can also use, I can't promise you anything now. I can't promise you anything. It means I cannot do anything about that. Okay, I'm sorry. You have to actually do something about your mistake. So as you can see here, these are some expressions that you can use to make an apology, and we have some expressions you can actually use to accept an apology. Please accept other people's apologies, do not decline them. If it's necessary, you can use some of these expressions, though I hope that you will never need them, okay? Decline an apology. You have, the set of expressions and phrases that you can use. So thank you so much for watching. Please, again, don't go anywhere. Stay with me here. We're going to move to the next function and the next, if you want, functional language item that we have, which is complaining. So we talked about apologizing. Now we will move to complaining. Stay with me here, please, and see you in a while. Okay, my dear students, now we're going to move on to the second, if you want, function, which is about making a complaint. So we're going to see how to make a complaint. And we're going to talk about dealing with a complaint as well. And as you can see here, we have 2 columns or 2 rows. We're going to show, how to deal with a complaint in a positive and in a negative way. So if you want to complain about, let's say, the noise your neighbors are actually making, you're going to say something like, I'm sorry to have to say it or to say that, but. So what we have here is making noise, okay? Your neighbors are listening to loud music. Your younger brother or sister is listening to loud music while you are maybe preparing for an exam. So the way you are going to complain to them is this. I'm sorry to have to say that or to have to say it, but you are listening to loud music, or but your music is too loud. Can you turn it down, please? Okay, so we have the first example here. I'm sorry to have to say that, but you are, for example, making a lot of noise, or your music is very loud. Okay, or we can say, I just don't know what to say, but. So we have, I just don't know, sorry, don't know is missing here, okay? I'm going to rewrite it. Please forgive my mistake, because sometimes I just write in a hurry very quickly and I don't pay attention. So I just don't know what to say or how to say it. Both of them are correct. I just don't know what to say, but. Okay, I just don't know what to say, but the music is too loud. Okay? The third one is, I'm afraid I have a serious complaint. I'm afraid they have a serious complaint about what? About your loud music. Sorry. I'm afraid I have a serious complaint about your loud music. You can also say, I am not really satisfied with. We can say, I'm not really satisfied with your loud music or with the noise your music is making. I am preparing for an exam. I am revising my lessons. So as you can see here, we have, I'm not really satisfied with. Okay? What else can we say? We can also say, I'm sorry to have to say that or to say this. We have it. We can also say, I've got a little problem with. Okay, I've got a bit of a problem here. So I've got a bit of a problem here. Your music is too loud. Or you are making, or your music is making a lot of noise. Can you turn it down, please? So I've got a bit of a problem here. So these are some, if you want, expressions that we can use to make a complaint to a person who is annoying, disappointed, or bothering you. So we have number one, I'm sorry to have to say that, but. I just don't know what to say, but. I'm afraid I have a serious complaint. I'm not really satisfied with. I've got a bit of a problem here. We can also add another one. We have, don't misunderstand me. Don't misunderstand me, but. So we have talked about misunderstanding yesterday, when you do not understand what another person is intending to say or to tell you, okay? You misunderstand someone. So don't misunderstand me, but your music is loud. It doesn't mean that I don't like your music, or I hate that music, or that style of music. No, it's only because I'm preparing for my exam, so please don't misunderstand me. We have a similar expression that we can add here, because we have a lot of expressions. We also have don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but. So we have don't get me wrong, but your music is too loud. Or don't get me wrong, but the music is making a lot of noise. Or your music is bothering me, is, if you want, disturbing me, and so on and so forth. So these are all the expressions that you can use to complain to someone. And of course, when I actually download all the documents that I have, you will find more. So, how are you going to deal with a complaint? What do you mean by dealing with a complaint? It simply means to do something about the complaint of the other person. When I complain to you about the loud music, for example, you are going to promise me something. For example, I will turn it down, or I will stop it now. I will no more listen to that music or that song. I will stop it right away, okay? So, we have dealing with a complaint positively. If you want to actually show some positive treatment, you can simply say, don't worry. And of course, you have to promise the person something. I will do something about it. Don't worry, I will do something about it. We can say, oh, sorry, you apologize because you caused some, if you want, discomfort to the other person. Oh, sorry, I will stop it right away. I will stop it right away. It's just an excuse, for example. Or I will reduce, for example, the volume. I will turn it down a bit, and so on and so forth. I didn't know that. And you have to show that you are going to do something about it. I'll immediately and then you choose. I'll immediately stop it. I'll immediately turn it down. I'll immediately maybe switch, maybe the TV off or the radio cassette off, and so on and so forth. So I didn't know that. I'll immediately, okay? You can also apologize again and say, my apologies, but it will never happen again. It means I will never do that once again. I'll stop it right away, okay? So you have to show some positive reaction, okay, to that person who is complaining to you. So the next column here is showing a negative way of dealing with a complaint. Let's, for example, imagine that somebody is complaining about the loud music, and then you want to answer negatively. So you can simply say, I don't care. Please, can you turn down the volume? And then he answers, I don't care. This is somehow, harsh and very direct, so we have to avoid such answers. So, I don't care. So, if we want to avoid them, why am I teaching them to you? I'm really sorry. This is what we have, okay? So, I don't care. Or, I don't see what I can do about it or about that. I don't see or I don't know what I can do about it or about that. I don't give. This is somehow very informal. I don't give a damn. So you have to actually pay attention to this expression here. It depends on who are you actually addressing. If you are addressing a friend of yours, then you can address them with this phrase, with this expression. But if you are, for example, addressing one of your parents, your superior, a teacher, someone who is worth some respect from your side, then you don't have to use such a phrase here because it's very informal. And I'm sure you know what we mean by informal. It's not a polite expression. So I don't give a damn, okay? I don't see what I can do about that. I don't care. We can also add other expressions and say, that's not my problem. And some students, okay, may opt for, may choose to say, that's not my, I know you like this one, that's not my business. Please, you have to pay attention with this one too. It's just similar to the one I've just talked about. So if you are addressing someone who is your superior, like your parents, your teachers, people, who are worth due respect from your side, as I told you, don't use this word here. That's not my business. That's not my problem, okay? So as you can see, guys, I hope that I have given you, the maximum I can. Please try to concentrate on the following expressions, and you don't need to learn them all by heart. So as I always tell my students, do not learn them by heart. Just try to, remember the most important ones. Take some examples. For example, you can actually remember 3 expressions from here, 3 or 2 from here, 3 or 2 from here. And of course, if you can actually remember all of them, that's, very commendable, and that's what we are, looking forward to. So, what's left for us? We have some exercises, and I know that it's quite difficult to do these exercises in these distant courses, but I promise, once, the documents are ready, I will upload them to my Facebook or my YouTube channel, or I will send them to you, and then you can actually share them among all the Moroccan students and all the students at Al-Khawarizmi High School in Asli, Marrakesh. Thank you so much for following me. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with me here. I'll be back to you. So again, my dear students, we're going to actually do, let's say, a few exercises about the functions. So as you can see here, we have learned, let's say, 2 different functions. We talked about apologizing and complaining. So let's do, let's say, some exercises right now. I would like you to look at the following, let's say, exercise here. What can you say in the following situation or situations, okay? We have situation number 1 or A and situation number letter B, okay? So we have A and B. Let's have a look at the first one. Let's imagine that you borrowed your friend's laptop and it broke down. You broke it down, okay? You were actually using your friend's laptop, and then all of a sudden it actually broke down and it stopped working. So what are you going to say in the following situation, and what are you going to tell your friend? So what do you think the function that we have here is? No, so here, as you can see, it is apologizing. You have to apologize for what happened. So what are you going to say, and how are you going to say it? So you borrowed your friend's laptop and it broke down. Can you think of some expressions, please? The expressions that we have seen to what? To make an apology. So we can simply say, what is the problem here? It is that the laptop, or is it the laptop? It broke down. This is the problem. This is what you need to what? To apologize for. To whom? To your friend. How are you going to do that? We have many expressions. You can simply say, I am sorry for. And please, I forgot to tell you that you have to pay attention to the verb or the phrase which comes after I'm sorry for. It's always plus a noun phrase and then P. Like, for example, a gerund. Okay? For example, I'm sorry for what? Breaking your laptop down. Though you are not responsible for it. Okay? So we can say I'm deeply sorry for. I am awfully sorry for. Okay? Or I am, if you want, so sorry for. We can also say I apologize for breaking your laptop down. Okay? I apologize for what I did. Your laptop broke down. Or your laptop is broken down. Okay? So you have to choose one of these expressions and then you write it down here. So I'm going to give you just one example, though we can actually have or come up with as many examples as we can. So let's have a look at this. So I can say, I don't know what or how. You choose one. What or how to say it. But your laptop is broken down. So here you are apologizing for what? Breaking your friend's laptop down. So you should always, why am I insisting on this structure here? I mean, you have to find out what the problem is. Before you apologize, before you ask for forgiveness, you should always look for the problem. What is the problem in the situation? What is the problem in the statement? What is the thing that really needs to actually apologize for? That is, if you want, that necessitates apologizing for. So we have, I don't know what or how to say it, but your laptop is broken down. Or we can say, I am deeply sorry for breaking your laptop down. I am deeply sorry for breaking your laptop down. I apologize for breaking your laptop down. My apologies, or please forgive me. I broke your laptop down. My apologies. Your laptop is broken down. And then you have to expect your friend's reaction. He is going to either accept the apology or decline, refuse the apology. We have seen the examples. You can go back in the video and you will find the different expressions that you may use. We have situation number 2. You called a wrong number late at night. Okay, you had, for example, you had an emergency, or you wanted to contact a friend of yours or a family member, and then you dialed a wrong number, and somebody actually turned the call back, and when they actually greeted you, what? You discovered that it was not the person you were intended to call. So what are you going to say? You have to apologize. People at this time are supposed to be in their bed. So you must have woken them up. Okay? So we have to say, I'm sorry, or I'm, if you want, I'm so sorry for. I am so sorry for calling you at this time. I'm so sorry for calling you at this time. Okay? And you can continue. I didn't realize the number or the phone number was wrong. Okay? I'm so sorry for calling you at this time. I didn't realize the number was wrong, or I didn't realize, or I didn't know that the number was wrong. Or we can say, my sincere apologies, sir or madam. My sincere apologies, sir or madam. I didn't figure out the number was wrong. Okay, so my sincere apologies, sir, or my sincere apologies, madam. I didn't figure out the number was wrong. So these are some, if you want, simple ways of apologizing for mistakes which, for example, which we are responsible for. So you can either use, one of the expressions here, or other expressions we have seen previously in the video, and you can use these as well, or other ones that we've actually previously talked about and introduced to you in the previous part of the video. So now I will try to move to the second, if you want, function, and I will try to give you an exercise. Please stay with me, don't go anywhere. I will just, erase the board and then come back to you. So in the second, let's say, exercise here, we're going to say, what are we going to say in the two different situations that we have here? So we have talked about apologizing, now we're going to talk about complaining. So as you can see, in situation number one here, we have your neighbor parked his or her car in your own parking area. So here, you've seen that your neighbor caused you a problem. So you have to complain to your neighbor about what he did. So we are going to say, what are the possible expressions and what are the possible phrases that we're going to use to complain to our neighbor. So we have seen, let's say, quite a long list of expressions. You're going to pick up one of them and use it with this situation here. So what is the problem that you're going to complain about? We have to state it. We're going to underline the most important things here in the situation. So your neighbor parked his car in your own parking area. So parked his or her car in your own parking area. So you're going to complain to your neighbor about what? About parking his or her car in your own parking area. So what are you going to say and how are you going to say it? This is it. So don't misunderstand me. Sorry, don't misunderstand me. But you actually parked your car in my parking area. Parking area or parking lot, okay? So this is it. Don't misunderstand me, but you actually parked your car in my parking area. And your neighbor, when he receives this complaint, of course, he has to deal with it. He has to do something about it. Either he's going to move his car away, or he's going to promise you a very quick a very quick reaction, or very quick if you want, solution for this problem here. So we have the expression that we have used here is don't misunderstand me. So you can either say don't misunderstand me, don't get me wrong, but you actually parked your car in my parking area. Or I have a serious complaint, sir. You parked your car in my parking area. Or let me complain about that. Your car is parked in my own parking area. So you can pick up one of these expressions. You can select the one that you know. You can choose the one that is easy for you to use. What is important for me is to know what you are going to complain about. That's the point. So let's go to situation B. We have a passenger is sitting in your seat on board. So maybe you are flying to another country. The flights are actually suspended across the world. You don't have to go anywhere. Please stay with us in Morocco. So until, let's say, a further notice. So we have a passenger is sitting in your seat on board. What are you going to tell him or her, and how are you going to tell him that? So you're going to complain to him. We're going to pick up one, if you want, one expression or one phrase. We can actually opt for, I have a bit of a problem here. Of course, we have to be polite to people. So, I have a bit of a problem here, sir, or madam. We should always show some respect and some politeness in the way we address people. So, I have a bit of a problem here, sir, or I have a bit of a problem here, madam. This is my seat. This is my, this is my seat, okay? Or you can show them the number, for example. This is my seat number, which means that you have to actually understand things this way. You have to actually move away to your own seat, okay? So as you can see here, these are some easy ways that we can use, and these are some very helpful expressions we can actually pick up and we can understand and we can memorize if we would like to actually react to similar situations. So we have different situations, and I promise I will give you more when I upload the documents. So I'm really happy to be with you today. I'm really glad to be, of some use to all the students of the baccalaureate level English stream. And of course, I will be available to all of you either through my Facebook channel or my Facebook profile or other actually means or ways that you can use to contact me. So I promise I will continue doing the same work. I will always be available for you with other lessons. I will stop here today and I will give you more classes later on. See you and have a nice time. Goodbye.